So we got a modern version of Dennis the Menace, whose peculiar escapades I did not cover because I legitimately thought that he was smart enough to hire actors for the pranks that he was committing. But no, it seems that the pranks were very legit, which apparently caught the ire of the British public. And eventually, after harassing Orthodox Jewish person, I believe, he ended up in court and got the most funny slap on the wrist that I have ever seen. But I guess, for the progressive modern British culture, this is already out of the ordinary. I mean, the very fact that he managed to get into court and get that slap should be commended to the British authorities for finally doing their job. Apparently, he got a £365 fine, which is half of what comedian Count Dankula had to pay for being offensive on the internet, right? So, like, if you do the clickety-clack on the keyboard, that is a lot stronger punishment. And the trial even lasted for a couple of years in the case of Dankula, and he can never find a job again. But in the case of this individual, which as a prank entered people's homes, led people to believe that they were about to get stabbed or that their car was being hijacked, and all these interesting and very peculiar activities, well, it's a £365 fine. Now, something else which bewilders a lot of individuals is the fact that he got a court order which bans him from posting people's faces on social media without their consent, but also he's not allowed to enter any private residential property without permission. Americans just cannot wrap their head around this. Like, what do you mean? Like, a judge had to ban him from trespassing? Like, isn't that a crime already? Well, it turns out that in the United Kingdom, trespassing is a civil offense. It's not a criminal offense in most cases. So now the judge is basically saying that if this particular individual, trespasses in another person's home, then it's a criminal offense. Now, this is due to British culture. They were incredibly polite society. You could compare them, I guess, with the Japanese of Europe, if you will. And the idea of just going on the street and harassing a person was unthinkable. But now we live in a more modern, forward-thinking, multicultural society, very progressive-oriented, in which getting clicks on TikTok is a noble goal and aspiration in the mind of some individuals. And it also creates situations like this, mostly due to political correctness. Because this person, as we saw him in an interview with Piers Morgan, is a very smart individual who knows exactly what he was doing. And he knew that the people he was targeting weren't able to stand up against him because they were afraid of getting fired, losing their job, having their name tarnished. And because of that, he was able to get away with the activity that would never fly here in Eastern Europe or in some American red states. But what I found to be the most interesting aspect of Mr. Busy is that during the interview that he had with Piers Morgan, he really didn't care or empathize with any of his victims. In fact, he didn't even understand why people were upset, because it was just a prank, bro. So he had absolutely no remorse. He had absolutely no compassion, nothing for the people that he was terrorizing. However, when Piers Morgan asked him, like, why did he leapfrog over a Jewish person, that's when he got upset. Because he said that, well, I prank everybody. I prank black people, I prank white people, I prank Jewish people. I'm a very inclusive pranker. So, literally, what got him upset was the accusation that he may be racist. And then he was also told that by Piers Morgan, it's like, you approach this woman and asked her, it's like, how would you like to die today? Or something in those lines, right? And he was like, no, I didn't do it to a woman, I did it to a man. So, like, he's not misogynistic. And I was really taken aback because this is literally the type of culture that we live in, right? Like, you have, like, the worst crimes you can commit in a society, which is being misogynistic or being racist. Like, these are the worst. However, going around and doing these bizarre type of pranks and terrorizing the public, it's still bad, but it's not as bad. You know, like, hey, at least I'm not racist. You know, I can get into other people's houses where their children are there and terrorize and mortify them, and the police comes up, but at least I'm not racist. So I suppose this is the new multilateral, multicultural, developed society that have been taught to us for all these years. That this is the new way. We need to reshape our thinking. And when we hear that someone is out there terrorizing the public, we need to ask ourselves, yeah, but like, is he a racist? Because like, I need to know how outraged I need to be. Like, when you're saying that he is threatening individuals out there on the street, is he targeting like a specific group, or is he like casting a wide net? Because right, like, this is the way of thinking, which is really bizarre for an Eastern European such as myself, because here we just believe, no, people should not behave this way, period. And if you try to behave this way in my country, you're going to beg for the police to come out before the people you annoyed finish getting their hands on you. So you're like, can the cops arrive here any faster, please? That's what would happen here. But again, in the multilateral, multi-developed, multicultural London, things are different because people are afraid to stand up for themselves. And we even saw something that's coming up from the United States, where a nurse had a bike. And some individuals tried to take the bike away from her. And of course, the headlines were Karen is accusing innocent African Americans for trying to steal her bike. Turns out that she had the receipt, so it was her bike, and now she's going to sue the media. But what I found interesting in that recording was the way things were acting, right? Like, she knew she wasn't in any danger, and she was like, help, help. Like she was exasperated, but also bored. Like, oh God, I have to deal with this again. Meanwhile, the individuals that were trying to take the bike away from her were laughing. Because they knew that they had her on the internet and they knew that the media would be on their side. So it was like such a bizarre crime unfolding, because it was a crime at the end of the day, but it was unfolding in front of me. It's almost like there were actors that had to play a part, and they knew that what they are doing is ridiculous, but they knew that the way culture operates is going to treat things from a different perspective than what our parents would have treated it as. So basically the idea is that, well, you now live in the multilateral developed society, very progressive, right? And you have to understand that there's new guidelines. So in this case, Mr. Mizzy was taking advantage of these new guidelines, knowing that people would not be able to stand up to him. Turns out that TikTok eventually did ban his account, but this is only due to the fact that it became a national outcry. I mean, his account made the headlines for quite a while. It's only recently that he got in trouble with the law. And again, a slap on the wrist. I think he is more upset about losing his TikTok account than he is on getting the £365 fine. I would like to point something out though, like I found hilarious of what Piers Morgan said. It's like, oh, you're doing all of this for clicks. And I was thinking, oh, so Piers, are you above it? Like, why do you have him as a guest? You know, like, having him as a guest is literally giving him what he wants. Like, he is a troll, he wants attention. And you're having him next to you in order to get clicks. Well, in your case, it's views, but still, I found it really interesting. Let me know what you guys think, and as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.